Look, yo, welcome to the financial class where we be talking about discipline with money. Discipline with money and also where to put your money. Okay? How to properly get right. Discipline with money is really hard. And I'm going to start off by telling you why discipline with money is hard. Discipline with money is hard because money is needed for everything. And it might be like, okay, Rod, that's self-explanatory. Money is needed for everything. But no. You need to really realize to do anything besides take a walk and to enjoy nature, you are going to spend money. And if you're not spending money, somebody's money being spent. So let's assume you're a very independent person. You need to grasp that. You need to grasp staying down. You need to grasp staying down. You need to understand what it means to stay down. And you need to stay down. And this is not about saving. So I'm not saying stay down as in saving, but you need to understand what things mean. A lot of times we're not disciplined because we don't know what it means, what these things mean. I've been really getting the meaning of things. That's how billionaires think. I want y'all to think like billionaires. We're going to call it billionaire's brain. I'm going to give y'all the billionaire's brain. These are things, when I go around these people, they probably thinking like, oh yeah, this streaming, we about to rip him off. I be going and listening. Don't let Raud in the room. I'm listening. I'm shutting the up. I shut the up when people who got more money than me is talking. I shut the up. And I listen and I ask questions once they stop talking. So from a billionaire brain, you need to understand everything. Even if you already understand it, ask people what they think their definition is. So now you can start understanding, okay, this is the actual definition. This is what a lot of people already think. It's increasing your intelligence. Intelligence is not only, oh, I remember in 1979 this happened and this happened. No, you need to know what's going on. Now look, what does it mean to stay down? Let's get into these facts. I'm about to give y'all some facts. What does it mean to stay down? And this is me giving y'all definitions to phrases, because staying down, that's not a real bit, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So staying down, that means literally not spending no money. Now let me say this. When you have $0, you are forced to stay down. You are forced to stay down. When you have $0, you are forced to stay down. You cannot order out because you don't have any money. You cannot go out because you don't have any money. When you are staying down because you have $0, you are forced to stay down. So you know how to stay down. That's one. So realize when you have no money, you're staying down. You're not poor, you're just staying down. Poor is a mindset. You ever heard poor is a mindset? Poor people believe they're going to be there forever, and they will because they poor. You're not poor, you're staying down. You forced because you don't have no money, but you staying down. Notice the difference. If you know you're going to be something in life, you are not poor. Don't ever say you poor or don't ever say you broke. Just say you ain't got it right now. So that's staying down. And I had to tell this to the person I was talking to. I was trying to show her that I can get you whatever you want. I can do that. But I want to teach you what I know. You need to learn how to stay down. Even if this is and I'm going to use her as an example. Let's say I say, Tai, stay down. I'm going to pay for your food so you can eat. All you have to do is not spend no money. But you got to work. You got to work, but you can't spend no money. So it's not like staying down means sitting on your ass. You still got to work. But you can't spend no money. That's hard for a lot of people. That's hard for me to say, yo, I'm going to pay for your food. Just don't spend no money. That's hard. Like a lot of people would fail that. They would still spend their money. If you give a person 7 days, they'll spend their money. You have to stay down. How do I do it, right? Okay, I understand the definition. How do I do it? How do I stay down? Don't touch your app. Don't open your money. When it's time to spend money, no. It's that simple. It's no cheat code. It's no motivation that can be said to you. No. And you should be ashamed of yourself every time you tell yourself you're going to stay down and you don't. So now that you know the definition, it's just no. Apple Pay be too easy. Take your card off. Disconnect your card. Take your card. I did that before, bro. By the way, I took my card off. Take your card off. Now, Pete, these be top 5 segments. Let's get into it. Now, look, you need to know these definitions so you know what staying down is. Staying down means working but spending no money. Even if you hungry, figure it out, because when you don't got no money, you figure it out. Now, if you looking at this and you saying, yo, that's a lot. Let me put this into perspective, right? 75% of the world don't have $1,000 to their savings. That's one. If you don't have $1,000 in your saving, and let's be honest, because we're here to make money, and I'm not saying say it in chat if you do or don't. 75% of the world don't have $1,000 in their savings. That's one. 2, having a 6-figure job 100K a year is where we all should be. If you are under that, you cannot afford this world. Ain't that crazy? In the span of money, if you don't make more than 100K a year, you can't afford the world. Literally. And it didn't used to be that. It used to be, oh, if you ain't got more than 45K. And then it was, oh, if you ain't got more than 65K. And then it was, if you ain't got more than 80K. And we thought that was crazy. Y'all, it's 100K. If you ain't got that or more, you are living below how much this world costs. And you'll know it because you'll be broke. We're at a point where a person can make $3,000 a month and still be broke. We're at a place in life where a person can make $4,000 a month and still be broke. We're at a crazy place right now. So taking that into consideration and knowing that, stop playing with yourself. Because that's why I be telling you I'm not rich, right? I'm comfortable. I'm a step up from the person who can afford the world. The world is so expensive that if I had as much money as I got in 2015, y'all could have called me rich. But with how much stuff costs and how much it costs to do things in this world, I'm not rich yet. I'm going to get there, but I'm not rich. Trust me. That's why I tell y'all I'm not rich. The average person can't go on a vacation at will. They have to what? Plan and save up for it. The average person can't just switch cribs. Why? 3,000-4,000 at spare. How you gonna do 3,000-4,000 at spare to move if you ain't got 1,000 in your account? That's stuff you gotta save up for. So taking that into consideration, you need to build yourself a safety net is what I like to call them. We're gonna call it safety net 1, safety net 2, and safety net 3. These are 3 beginner safety nets that I've came up with myself that I believe are good safety nets. Okay? If you are, and I'm not judging, this is the age I'm going to put in it. If you are age 18 and below, this is the safety net I need you to have. Okay? I need you to have $500 in the savings. Okay? That's 1. I need you to be making more than $500 a month. That's 2. And then 3, I want you to start investing while you're still young. If you 18 or under, that's what I want from you. 500, and start investing. 500, and 500. Let's say 500 invested, 500 saved, and making 500 a month. Y'all know how many people sit in the chat and they say, Raud, I can't afford a sub. Now, it might be to a point where it's like, oh, if you can't afford a sub, get your money up, little nigga. But think about that. This could go 30 days without getting $8. And if they did get $8, they had to spend it on food. It just popped. So I need you to have safety net level 1. This is young adult. You need to have 500 in your savings, 500 in stocks, and I need you to be making at least 500 a month, at least. All right, that's what, 125 a week. I don't care if you get yourself a little side hustle. Go get some money, little. The earlier you start, the better. And this before you get bills. Go get some money. If you 18 or younger, find a little side hustle. And you look at real paying jobs as a young boy and you say, this little ass check. But bro, if you go work for $50, that's a big chunk of your 125 per week. Get it every week. Now look, your savings is literally for life or death moments. You should not touch your savings. Ever. And you shouldn't be saving in your Chase or your Wells Fargo or your I already showed y'all the app. I'm going to show you the app one more time. It's called Marcus. It's called Marcus. First app right there. I want you to download it. That's where you save your money. You save your money in there. Why should I save my money in there, right? Because as days come on, as y'all not putting money in your savings, y'all losing money. Every day that you exist, you losing. Cash is worthless, by the way. The greatest value cash got is if the place you want your desired good from is only accepting cash. Cash sucks. You lose money by doing cash. You got to take it out, ATM fees, or you got to go to your bank and take time out your day, which is more expensive. And if you let it sit for a day, you're losing money. Your dollars is losing money. Cash sucks. Facts, bro. They discount pennies. They discounted pennies at the bank, bro. It's getting crazy. It's depreciating. If you save $10,000 right now, you put it under your mattress. In 10 years, your $10,000 might be worth $4,000, and that's being realistic. As of right now, $10,000 is worth like $6,000. a 10 ball is 6,000. So if we scale that down, your $1,000 is really $600. In a couple more years, that shit might be worth 500. You feel me? Your 1,000 might worth be 500. It's getting crazy. Now you say, why don't I save in my regular bank, but I save in Marcus? Marcus gives you a percentage on your money. They'll give you 3%, 4%, depending on how much money you got. If you got more money, they'll give you better percentages. I think they start you off with a 3.7 or a 3.6. They give you 3.6% of your money back. You know what that does? That's a little safety net, and that's not even a lot. It's cute. That gives you safety that your $1,000 stay $1,000. W Slick promo. I wish I was partnered with Marcus. You know that's one of the biggest, largest banks in the world, and they've been around for years. I wish I was partnered with them. Trust me. I don't know who you think I am. Now look, let's pull out this calculator. Actually, nah. Let's pull out this calculator. Let's say you got $1,000 in there. Let's add 3%. You got $1,000 in there. Let's add 3.3%. You get $30. Now guess what? You got $1,030 in there, and then the next month they give you 3%. So you get three. Now it's not $30, and $30 is a meal. That's food. That's a good DoorDash. Two people can eat off that. And you know why that's good? Because if $1,000 go down one day and now it's worth $999, you just made 3%. So you that interest that you making is keeping your 1,000 a real 1,000. If you had 1,000 in there from 10 years ago up till now, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Your 1,000 probably would be way over 1,000. It would compound itself. You'd be 1,030. There'd probably be like 1,070. It'd be like 1,090. Now it's 1,100. Now your 1,100 is compounding a little faster. Now it's 1,140. And it would go up, and that's 10 years. And it go up every month. So that's 12 months for 10 years. That's 120 months. Your 1,000 would be worth so much more. And guess what? Money has been doing that, compounding, backwards. It's been doing that. It's been doing that same thing I'm explaining to y'all, but backwards. The economy been doing that to the dollar, and nobody see it backwards. And you might say, how? If I still got my 10,000 cash, how is they making it worth less? They're raising the prices by that much of everything, and you don't notice because now you think, oh, it's only $1.50 now, but now they stealing 50 cents from everybody. So now they just cut your dollar in half. Something you could have grabbed for a yank, they making you break $1 for it. In 10 years, something that was a yank is $5. So, of course, you could have grabbed the Arizona for back in... You ever hear old heads be like, bro, I remember when that was 50 cents. I remember when this was $1. And I used to be like, y'all old as shit. No, you just need to be here long enough to realize this shit's still going up. It ain't even that they old. They been us. So you need to fight back. And one of the ways to fight back is to put your money in something that gives you interest. Okay? All right? All right? You hear me? And when you leave your money in your Chase, it's equivalent to leaving cash under your bed physically. You go to Marcus, and they give you the interest. Let me see if I could go to my joint and scroll to one of my interest joints. Let me see them giving me some cheese. Let's see real quick. Let me scroll. And let me just show y'all how it works. And this is just how to save once you get the discipline. Because this is just another savings account. It don't lock your money in. You can take it out whenever you want. You can switch it to your Chase. You can do whatever you want. So this not locking your money in. This is not the discipline. It's not the key. It's just where to put your money. I'm just answering that second question. You can still go in here, reach in here, and take your money. Don't touch your money. Do not touch your money. It's dumb. If you feel like you about to touch your money, delete the app. Hold up. I'm trying to show y'all without showing too much. Alright, so look, it's going to say this. It's going to say interest paid. Make sure there's no numbers. Bet. I gained $100 off interest. $100 off interest. $100 is a lot of money. But guess what, though? If I was a millionaire, guess what's 3% of $1 million? Da, 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 da. Once you rich, it's hard to go back down. I don't know how NFL players are getting $100 million deals and not just living off interest. I told you you could do the 4% rule over there in the stock market. You can get interest over here. Interest. You ever see the credit card commercials where they, oh, you get 3% this back and you look at it, you probably like, who got time for that? White people. And they abuse it and they live off it. We don't live off it. I need y'all to live off it. Y'all don't live off it. Overlook it and think it's, that's $100 off interest. 100. 100. We not taking advantage. I'm talking to y'all. And not even to make it a race thing. To my in the trenches. You could be any race. You shout out my Rican, everybody. White, whatever. Yo. We gotta lock in. Nope. Stop leaving your money in your chase. If that's your rainy day saving, like you not supposed to touch it, put it in Marcus. If it's, oh, let me save this money because I'm spending it later, sure, you can leave it in there. But if that's your rainy day, I'm not touching it, it need to be in there. So safety net level 1, my young boys, y'all need 500 in there. I need that from y'all. My level 2, if you older than 18, get yourself 1,000. I need 1,000 in there. You need to double it. All right, so if you older than 18, I'm not gonna put no cap to the age because when you lock in is when you lock in. You need 1,000 in Marcus for rainy days. You need to be broke eating chips with your bonnet on saying, I don't got it, I'm broke when people ask you for money. But you know if it ever get rough to the point where somebody kicking you out, you don't have nowhere to stay. You have $1,000 in your Marcus. That's real adulthood. And you should feel good knowing that I got that money saved. Instead of touching it, feel good in your discipline. Don't feel good in your nastiness. Going back and telling yourself you're going to do something, lying to yourself is nastiness. You should actually look back like, bro, I'll keep lying to myself. I'm addicted to not saving money. Now think about this. If you want an endless loop, right? If you're on an endless loop of, damn, I'm supposed to save, damn, I spent it. Damn, I'm supposed to save, damn, I spent it. Now, with $1,000 save, you give yourself the ability to say, I'm spending this whole check today and I don't give a because I'm going to stay down and I'm good. That's what you give yourself. And then the month after that, you can say, let me add 200 to it. Now it's 1,200 in there. Hey, perfect. You can do that. It's okay. I'm not telling you can't do it, but there's a time and place for You need to hit your goal first, and then you can bip. And then you set a new goal, and you add to that goal. And then you can bip out for 6 months if you want. And look back at your interest and say, hey, I got 2,000 that turned into 2,300. You know why? Because that's how much the dollar went down. You should be looking at it like that. All right? Safety net number 3. If you got a little bit of money to play with, you hit big lots. I don't know what you do, but at certain times, you do got $1,000 or shit like that. You feel me? You may touch some pape and you don't pay too many bills. I like keep it a bean. Big boy, 3K. I need 3K in there. Start, get it to 1K. Take a break. Have fun with your money. Do what you want. Crash out. Don't touch that 1,000 though. Now get it to 2,000. Now take your time. Take your time. Don't rush that. Smile and say, I'm not broke. If a nigga calling me broke, if I'm arguing with a nigga, he saying you truly broke, that's when it's, oh, bro, you know what I got in the stash. You feel me? That's when you flexing it. You see when white flex they crypto, that's the equivalent. That's how they feel. G3 came in with the 11 gifted subs! Yeah, I got you. That's what I need from you. So that's what I need. So times, look, think about this. Think about this. Times where you like, yo, hey, Rod, I'm going all out. I'm gonna drop 100 subs on you. If you got 1,000 to the side, you don't feel as bad. If you say, yo, I'm gonna take my girl out, we gonna spend $100. Now that you broke, you don't feel that bad. If you like, yo, 3K, I got you. Exactly. Turn me up. So only withdrawal on Rodmas, I got you. No, do not withdraw on Rodmas. Do not touch that account for nothing. That's not what I'm saying. Now look, let's get back in the discipline that it take to do it now that I got y'all the knowledge. Turn up, exactly. Which do I pick? Pick a Roth IRA. It's called a Roth IRA. I just don't like saying Roth IRA. I like saying saving account. I feel like people who say Roth IRA is trying to sound fancy and it confuses people. A Roth IRA is just a savings account. I mean, not a Roth IRA, a high yield. I'm sorry, I said the wrong name. High yield is just a saving account. People say high yield and people think, oh, my money gonna get multiplied. You're gonna earn money, but you need to understand what it is. That's why definitions matter. You feel me? That's why definitions matter. You feel me? Now that y'all know the definition, don't y'all feel more confidently in using the tool? It's like a passing you a gun and you never saw one ever in life. You might kill somebody and you're just not going to know how to use it. So high yield is just a savings account. It's just a savings account. It's just like being in your app and you know how I say check-in savings? It's that second one, the savings. It's high yield is just a savings account. It's the proper one though. Yes, Marcus is a high yield account. So now you could tell people, oh, I got a high yield. I bank with Marcus. Come on, you even elevate your lifestyle. You tell them, oh yeah, I got Marcus. That's my high yield. Does it do anything else? No, that's just your rainy day. That's just your rainy day. That's your rainy day money. That's it. That's all it is. You just say, yo, yeah, I could transfer it out of my high yield. That's it. You feel me? Now look. How do I get this discipline, right? Let's dive into that. How do I get this discipline to do this, right? Because you got to think, hold up, before I get into that, you got to think about it like this because I'm trying to motivate y'all to actually do this. You got to think like this. You're forever going to live the check. You forever going to live check to check unless you stop living check to check. If you take a month or two to say, I'm going to starve and grind these out and stay down, you will have 1,000 in your Marcus, 1,000 in your account to spend to go have fun. You can do what you just got to stay down to come up. People don't want to stay down. So if you live check to check, you're forever going to live check to check because you're not taking no losses. You only taking the losses that life give you. If you force yourself to take a L, you put yourself at risk to get a W. Even that's what investing is. Forcing yourself to take an L to get a W. Stocks, anything. If I force myself to take $20,000 from my account to Duck City, I put myself in a position to get a W to make more money back. But certain niggas would say, nah, I'm not pulling to do something like that because I don't know if it's going to work. And that's what people call the risk. So if you don't pull from that, you lose. By everyday life, the 20K just gonna go slow and amount to nothing. Now it's just gonna go bills, this, that, this, and it's just gonna fall off. You'll forever be broke if you don't learn to make money in your sleep. No. What was your question? What about reinvesting in yourself and all that? That's two separate things, right? So now let's get into that. Let's get into that, and then we can talk about the discipline to take, right? Let's get into that. I'm telling you where to save your rainy day money. When you hear rich people say, and let's go back to that word I said, billionaire mindset. When you hear people say, I got my money in different places, that's what they mean. They have money in Marcus. They have money in Fidelity. They can have money in Schwab. They have money in this company, and they got money in their account. They got their money in 5 places doing 5 different things. If you have your money just in your Chase app, just in this, you don't have your money in different places. Your rainy day money should be protected by high yield rules. It should be protected by the interest. Blind leading the blind. Never the blind leading the blind. This is coming from billionaires that I speak to every day. Millionaires that I speak to every day. This is from people who took me from, I was already making this type money, but now they teaching me how to properly use it, and my money is multiplying. This is coming from that. This is coming from a who could show you 50 racks right now. This is who it's coming from. This is coming from a who did a subathon that made him 6 figures, 100 racks in 3 days. This is coming from a person who have stocks. This is who it's coming from. This is not the blind leading the blind. You're the person who's going to sit there and not take the advice. And you're going to live check to check unless you blow up. Y'all know that's how we live, bro. It's sad. That's how we live. We sit there and we live check to check, hoping that we get enough money, and then but you never even trained yourself where to put your money, because you think you need money to put your money in the right places. So you live a bigger check to check, and then that's how you go broke. Because it's not about the money, it's about what you do with the money. So it don't matter if you have $100 or $100K, you're gonna spend the $100K the same way you would have spent the $100. And you're going to be on your last 20K, like holding on to it tight with your last 20K. And there's going to be no money coming in. And your money going to be depreciating. And you don't know what's going on with your government, and interest killing you. And you're not going to know shit. That's what's going to happen. I'm trying to take y'all out of that. You're going to be a dummy. Y'all start high yield with Marcus. High yield. That's what I'm telling you. You're going to be a dummy. Don't be a dummy, bro. I don't want y'all to be dumb. I want y'all to be smart. Because I feel like I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, damn, I knew this, but I ain't know it. You feel me? Because everything I'm telling y'all knew it. Y'all knew high yield. But that's why you really need definitions. Because you know it, but you don't know it. Once you really know it, it's like, all right, I'll try it now. You feel me? Now look, that's rainy day money. That's one place you can have your money. Let's go to the second place you can have your money. All right? He just said, when do I reinvest? Reinvesting money ain't got shit to do with the 1K, the 3K, or the 500 I'm telling you to save. That don't get touched unless you need it. That is a safety net. That is not money. Don't look at that like money. That's not money. That's backbone. That's farther motivation to have discipline with future money. That's what makes you feel okay when it's time to stay down. Your safety net that's not there. Exactly. That's not money you touch to reinvest. You don't say, I got 3K in the savings. Let me buy this car because this car going to help me. And this logic is dumb as shit, by the way. And if you smart, you understand why this logic is dumb. Yeah, I got this 3K. It's going to help me get this car. And this car going to help me get to this job. And then I'm going to stack it back up. And the car just going to help me get everywhere because I've spent money on transportation. And that's where my money really be going. No, you just not spending your money right. A car not going to help you. You talking yourself into getting a car. Do not touch your money. Think like that, genuinely. No, bro, I just got to move because I'm not saving money because I'm not in the right headspace. And if I was in the right headspace, then I could save money. So I'm going to spend my $3,000 and move first. And then after I move, I'm going to resave it. Shut the up. Shut up. You know why I tell niggas to shut up? We'll be saving for 3 years. It's making $1 million in a day. You don't hear that and think, yo, let me get on my shit. Put your safety net there and then save for a car. Do the hard work. Stop cheating. That's your safety net. Put $1,000 as a safety net and then start saving again. Because if you save all your money for 2 months, you can buy the car. Tell yourself no to DoorDash for 2 months so you can have a car if you really need the car. Safety net comes first. That's step number 1. That's the first place you need to put your money. Then 2, you save again. You don't touch that. You save again. You need a safety net. You need no debt. And that's when you really free. And then no debt. For my people in college, y'all got a big hurdle. It's a safety net and then clearing your debt. I don't owe the IRS nothing. I don't know no record label nothing. I don't owe that. I don't owe no. I don't owe nobody anything. So I have a safety net, and I owe nobody nothing. So even if all I had was 10K, I'm richer than a who owe money. What if we in big debt? If you in big debt, get your skip the debt part. That's really hard. That's a whole separate conversation. That was me just really telling y'all the real facts. If you really want to be rich, you clear your debt, you get yourself a safety net, and then you start investing into businesses. That's the rich. That's what they do. That's the three things they do. They do that, clear their debt, and then but we're not talking about that. You can still do everything. You can still do everything, but watch, the debt can move out. That's a separate conversation. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about how to clear it smartly and all that. But you need real discipline for that. You know how much discipline it takes to say, hey, yeah, this company just paid you 10,000, Raud, and I say, okay, IRS, here you go. All of it though. All of it, the whole check. All of it. And that was for 2 years. All of it, the whole check. And that was my biggest check. I said, oh, who knows when we're going to get another check that big. All right. But it's like, it's no debt, because you know what they do? You know what the IRS do? And this is a side note. What the IRS do is, right, you'll owe them $2,000. And you'll wait a year, and that $2,000 would be $3,700. You had that. Oh, bro, people who make money online, they better do their taxes. This not no job where, oh, if we pay you $1,000, we took out $200 for taxes. When jobs take taxes out for you, they doing it for you. But it's getting taken regardless, whether you like it or not. So if you online and you're getting that money, you better pay your taxes. Now this is what I can make you, if your heart just dropped, this is what I can tell you. They're not gonna be on your ass until you get somewhere around 50K. But interest will accumulate. But there's a lot of who make money on the internet and they like this with y'all, hey, and they never pay taxes. You need to go to somebody who went to school for being an accountant or a firm, and you need to tell them, hey, I made this much money from this, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to file you, we're going to send me the 1099 that the place send you, which they do send you. YouTube send you a 1099, Twitch send you a 1099. You take that, you send that to them. That is basically, hey, this is what we paid Raud Burton Price. And they say, hey, what did you spend that was business expenses? You tell them, they get it as low as they can, and you pay the IRS. And you got to do that by yourself as an adult. And if you don't do that, it stack up. And if you let it get past 50K, you going to be really, really sorry. You know how many rappers y'all probably think fell off, but they really just went broke to themselves? So now they just living off their name. It gets slum. You got to pay your shit. IRS ain't playing. But let's get back. Let's get to that discipline. Ass going to jail. Yeah, right. And if they find out you still spending money, after they try to already snuff you, they're gonna chase you down. Why do you use markets when there are places that use higher rates? In order to get anything higher than 4%, which I doubt you can find, if you can find that for me, which I doubt, I'm 99% sure you're not about to get more than 4%. Send it to me. Let me know. I'll switch. We could check it out together, but I doubt you're gonna get any more than 4%. They used to give you like 3.9, but now it's somewhere around 3.6 or 3.7 that they give people. Unless you got a lot of money. No, just curious. No, I'm telling you though. And not to go at you, but like, they to sit your money in there, they not giving you not higher than 4%. That's just what they're giving you. Like, that's just what they get. That's just what they're giving you. If it was something that gave 10%, I would have said this the stock market for real. You feel me? Stock market give you 9 to 10%. You feel me? On a good year. That's stock market work. I would have said the stock market. I'd have set all my money in there. The stock market. My gonna grow in Marcus. I would have set all the in Marcus. But you feel me? They give you like 3.6 for the max if you really that. If you got millions, you can call them and negotiate for a bigger joint, but they not gonna give you nothing more than that. You feel me? What about dividends? Dividends is stocks. They have nothing to do with saving account. And I've been eating ever since. Come on. G3 Gaming. Know his shit. Now look, investing is different. And buying stuff that you need for your house, buying a house, buying a car, paying for this camera for your business, that has nothing to do with your safety net. That's money that you got to really get. It's a lot of money, but it's a lot of staying down. But I say it like this. This is how I say it. If you stay down for a year, you can be rich forever. You ever see those motivational videos where they be like, a year of hard work, work now so you can relax later, and little like that. A year of hard work, y'all know where it's going. Y'all hear little like that? That's because you really got to stay down a couple months. You may got to spend January, February, March getting your safety net, April, May, June getting your car, July, August, and September taking your safety net to 2K, investing into your business, and then the rest of the year to chill, and then going on to the next year. And then you already got that discipline now. You got a $2,000 safety net, you have a car, and you live where you want to live. That, like, you got to do that. And they know don't got that discipline. And you know what they do? You know what they do? They put the drugs in the communities. They keep raising the prices. They hand us stuff that look appealing. They say little shit like, if you work, we cutting your food stamps off, so niggas can be scared and say, no, the food stamps. And like, bro, they do shit to us to keep us there. So I need y'all to be locked in so y'all don't have to be in that position, because that's what they did to the millennials. They put them in a position like, oh, you make $2,000? We taking your food stamps. We take it. And they say, no, the food. It's a trap. It's a trap. And whole time she got 2 kids and rent. So $2,000 not enough. She needed the food stamps with the $2,000. Y'all gonna take it from her? They don't give a about us. They don't give a about us. No. They gonna let you starve. They gonna act like, oh, these artificial food stamps we giving you is like, what? Y'all weird as shit. But that's why I even be on the type time of like trying to help my parents. You dig me? Because I know that shit. You dig me? Once I'm really rich though, my family not gonna be there. They gonna be sturdy. They want you to stay in the trenches. They do, because they need people there. Because if we all up, the economy up. So y'all gotta stay there so we can be here. As much effort as they put to making sure they up, they put the same amount of effort to make sure that is down. Because if we all had money, we can't all have money if they print in a certain amount of money. We can't all have it. It's a lot of money in the world. So don't think you gotta be no jealous. Yo, Kev, thanks for the sub. You ain't gotta be no jealous hating. But that's how they make their money. The billionaires, at least. You feel me? You could get a little 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Y'all can do it, bro. Every person in this chat I'm talking about, y'all can do it. And I'm not even there, and I'm telling y'all can do it. That's when the nigga can say blind leading the blind. But I'm going to keep it a bean. Call me delusional. I'm going to have it. You feel me? I'm going to have it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the milli. No, it's on my goal. Like, the goal is to look at the mill. And why I got the mill, I'm not going to have no debt. I'm not going to have no debt. And my safety net going to be like $250,000. If I got $1 million in my chase, that means my safety net going to be $250,000. I will have it. Trust. And that's when it's going to be like, you rich. And it's going to be like, yes. Can we see the mill too? Yeah, we can celebrate that shit. No, they going to clip me all up. Ride $1 million. We can do it. We can do it. Now look, we not talking about stocks and investing, so I'm not about to talk about confidently though, right? So we not talking about stocks or investment, so I'm not about to talk about dividends. I'm not about to talk about Roths or stocks. The second place to put your money is really weird. Besides those long-term investment accounts I told you about, those 3 long-term investment accounts, stocks and all that. It's really a weird place to put your money, honestly. It has to be put into a business. That's it. Reinvestment. It has to be, and that's the hard truth, because it kind of get to a place like this. I start getting more money, and I was like, okay, I got the Roth IRA maxed out, 7,000. Okay, I got stocks. Okay, I got a safety net. Where did the rest of my money go? Where it go? It got to be businesses. It has to. You got an example of some businesses? That's the greatest thing about saying you got to reinvest your money. The business is whatever. You got to think, when you work on 9 to 5, you're working for another person's business. Zari, Leah, and Leek working for me, they working for another man's business. You have to start a business. If you go grab flowers, you grab flowers from a flower business. If you driving a car, you got that car from a business. Y'all know in the beginning how I said everything costs money? You have to, it's supply and demand. You have to supply something to make money. Everything is a business. The person who made this Uck City graphic right here, that's his business. I was a customer. You dig me? The person who designed my wall, that's a business. I'm a customer. The person who made this chair. So when you say it, it's kind of tricky to tell you because the business can be anything. Now, I can tell you what my businesses are. My businesses is Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and they all group into content creation, but they are different businesses. Because what it takes to do one thing, it doesn't take to do another thing. You feel me? What it takes to do one thing, it don't take to do another. These not the same people I'm talking to. So I got an LLC for Twitch. I got an LLC for YouTube. I got an LLC for TikTok. I have an LLC for this. Now I do content creation. A lot of people try to sell clothes. But for real, the money come from the people, right? Music, that's a business. The money really come to the people who, because those are like, they're not oversaturated. I don't want to use that word, but I'm going to say that word. I'm going to say they're popular. Let's use the word popular. Those are popular niches. Clothes, this, that, this. LLC for TikTok, for sure. You got to have an LLC for TikTok. I'm going to tell them clothes that I wore in that skit, this how much they cost. That food I ate, all them Shake Shacks, that was for the skit, bro. That's on y'all. I'm writing everything off. Yeah, it's for TikTok. And we're going to have his own LLC, and those write-offs going to go right to the TikTok LLC. And when the IRS say, oh, what did you what? We hit $1 million on this skit, and I needed this whiteboard for the 1 versus 100 gorilla. I needed that whiteboard for it. It's my business. YouTube. And I actually do it, and I've been doing it for 5 years. You can write off anything if you make it make sense. But yes, I have an LLC for TikTok. And to show my seriousness, I have the separate one. Wait, that's smart as shit. Write-offs is a whole different genre. We could talk about taxes. Can you write off alcohol on taxes? Oh, for sure. That's why I tell them, grab 3 bottles. Can I ask for help when that time comes? For sure. You could come to me and get my accountant. I'm putting niggas on. I'm putting you down. No, I'm putting niggas on. So, yeah, reinvesting. The who make money with investing is the who put their money into shit that is not traditionally being made, if that makes sense. You feel me? Now, being around these billionaires, let me tell you one thing I observe. They don't think nothing is impossible. I watched this come up with a dessert shop in my face, a concept for it, and bring it to life. I watched it help me, and then he turned it right around, and he helped his mans. And y'all know that diner I said I wanted to go to? That what's the diner? The Philly, the New York diner that we watched Phantom go to? My mans helped him come up with that idea. Billionaires make businesses every day while we struggle as regular people to get one off. Every day, though. You know how we say, yo, it'd be tough if we do this. They do it every day. I'm watching them every day. They got me on some where I'm like, yo, I might open up a ghost kitchen restaurant, and then over here I might have them renting out and doing cars over there, And then over here, bro, I'm really gonna be on that, bro. I don't think I believe. Don't let me get the money. And you never, and you don't know it's them because they name it after different stuff. They don't want their name on it. They don't want their name on it. They just want the money from it. They do it every single day. They do it every day, bro. I watch them. I watch them. They got this friend who make AI, and since he make AI, they say, yo, you hella smart. Let's sell your AI to these companies. And then they got this friend who makes speakers, and they only use his speakers, even though they can use any speaker. And now they making 50K off speakers, and that's a lot of money for a lot of people. And they got this friend over here who will cook, and now they start a restaurant with him. And then they got this friend over here who do black trucks. And then they got this friend over here who own this building. And since they know him, they ask him, can they use one of the rooms for something for their offices? And they just networked up, bro. They get to the point where everything's free because they got so much to offer. And that's when money stopped becoming vital and it become favors. That's how much money they got. Elon and them doing favors. They're not spending money. It's all favors. How can GZF do that? How can GZF do that? By taking my advice. I'm the streamer. Somebody go open up this business. Somebody go do real estate. Let me help you sell your houses, and then I get 10% for help you sell your houses. But now you sold 100 houses, and we in business together. And since we in business together like that, let's go buy some black trucks. And then we start a black truck company with this person because he actually want to do the drives. He actually want to do the drives, and now, bro, it get yeah. Favors sound very tricky though. It's not tricky. It's not tricky. You know what they do? It's not even money favors. It's I own this, and this is, it's like me. A favor from me is not a favor from y'all. And it's not to say that it's just to say it's levels, and they have nothing to do with money. Since I have money, I know a graphic guy. I pay him thousands of dollars. So you know what I could do? I could say, hey, my graphic guy, make Jay Play's graphics for the whole month. And he'll do it for me. But if I say, hey, Jay Play, I need you to do this for me, Jay Play, you got to do it. That's the rule. Because once a person do a favor for you, you don't return the favor back. They just won't fuck with you. But once y'all get that first exchange of favors, now you know whatever he got, I got. And that's when networking becomes beautiful. That makes sense, though. It got to make sense. Billionaires are not making dumb decisions. They're actually the smartest ever. And it's crazy because don't do service for service no more. Everybody worried about money, and they'll rather do it for $20, or they'll hate on you and not pass the word to their mans that you want to fuck with them and shit like that, and it's crab in the barrel. So as GZF, if y'all want to do that, get successful in your field. If it's like, yo, Raud, I run this football camp over here, and I need help launching my football camp, and I need football. Let me help you launch your camp. Let me do the football shit over there. And boom, 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 we exchange favors. No money needed. You didn't have to pay to get Raji's in your establishment, and I didn't have to pay to get a football court. That's my friend that owns a football field. I want to do a restaurant video. My man's own a restaurant. Bro, can I use your restaurant? Yes, you can use your restaurant. Can you make sure I get more customers? Yes, I can. Yo, I want to throw a team meeting. I want to look better. I'm a boss, and I own this building, and and he a boss, and he own that building. He wants to do a dinner with all his employees to seem bigger than what he is. So I'm going to let him use my restaurant and rent the whole thing out, and I'm going to make my staff work that night. But when I come over to your building, which is a music label, help me out this way. They doing that. That's what they doing. They doing that, bro. It's not money. The most creative thing you can ask for that they got that's not money is your command. No. Last bit. All right, come on. This last financial advice. Raud, you spitting right now. I'm going to let it know. I'm putting you down. No. And I'm going to always come get you out of the game. You know why I'm going to get you out of the game? And this sucks to say, and this going to sound crazy. Cause niggas not even gonna listen. That's why niggas feel so confident and get. That's when motivational and educational videos became popular because they'll say it and niggas not even gonna do it, and they realize that, so they start giving it for free. They said, "Oh my god, even if we tell them, they still not gonna do it." Oh my god, and it's true. Niggas said, "Oh my god, even if I tell them, they still not gonna do it." Ooh, I should start a business on that. You know how many rich got businesses on YouTube telling you about this same to make 100K a year, and that's not even his main shit. That's one of his source of incomes. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm gonna keep preaching it to y'all because y'all might not be searching those videos up. So I'm gonna be that guy for y'all. I'm gonna be that guy for y'all. And it's when you hear certain words are trigger words for scam, and we so ignorant that we hear certain words and we be like, nah, scam. Now look, y'all see, not one time did I say, y'all buy my ebook. To do that to you. They're trying to make a business up. Buy my ebook. This is the app, y'all. Put your money right here. That we don't need an ebook to learn how to download markets. We don't need your web seminar. So I'm not trying to make money off y'all. Yes, I'm making money because I'm streaming, obviously, but I'm not trying to make money off the knowledge. I'm going to get the knowledge to y'all. And if whoever listen. You feel me? I'm not going to make a dedicated page for it, and we ain't doing all that. I can. That's a business. It's a business. I can have an LLC just for that page where I drop game, and then I can write off and I could start renting out facilities where I talk in the masses, and I could drop a book and then write it all off under that LLC, and that could be a business. Teaching financial. Within itself, outside of all of this. Can you tell us how to network more if we're lower class? Stop calling yourself lower class. We all the same class. I start looking at the billionaires like, I'm the same class as you. What's the game? I'm just on level 1. But in smarts wise, when I walk in that room, I got just as much to say as you. Realize that. Get in your niche. What do y'all know that other don't know? When I walk in that room, them ask me, so streaming. I know my shit. You know your shit, but I know my shit. You can't do what I do. Remember that. So when you go to network, remember that. There's no class to that shit. Switch your mind, switch your mindset up. Walk in with your shoulders high and say, "Oh, ma'am, you own this restaurant? I'm such and such. Nice to meet you. I live down the street and I own a business where I sell clothes. I just want to get your number." That's networking. And go meet that restaurant owner. And then go buy food from there once per week. And say what's up to her and show her your new clothes that second time. And that third time, when you need that restaurant, pitch it to her. Hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Do you think we could do this? I need this for this and this and that. And then you just network, and that's your friend. So you need to meet people who do what you do, who got what you want, and you need to go meet them, and you need to have something to offer also. But this is where they get it confused. They think, Raud, I got something to offer. Come on, bro, do my video. You also have to remember, it's not obligated to do anything with you or to meet you also. That's another thing. So don't feel hurt if you're trying to network and you feel like it's not working. That's just not the person you're supposed to be networking with. But don't stop networking. And honestly, you should network with people who doing good for themselves at your level instead of people above you. You should be trying to network with this guy who shoot music videos that's really successful at music videos, and this guy who take pictures that's really good at pictures, and this guy who owns a studio, and this guy who owns a restaurant, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. People who do become friends with people who do cool stuff. When you say, yo, that's cool, admire that person and network. And if it go all right, that's going to be your friend. And then if you become friends with people who doing what they do, y'all going to grind together and they going to motivate you. Your friends is your friends. That's cool. But your work friends, they friends too. But they work friends because they boost you in your work. They can be friends outside of, we can step out of work mode and go be regular friends. But we work friends and we networking. And don't be ruthless. Be good to people. Good people. Be good to people. Good people get good things. Raud, who is the craziest person you talk to through networking? Bro, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that do a lot of things. I know a person who can reach any artist in the music industry. I know people who own buildings in Manhattan. I know people who own Bojangles. I know people who own restaurants in Philly. I know every single barber. I know people who own studios in different states. I know people who own car dealerships. I know people who rent out cars, foreign cars. I know people who get you a passport in a day. I know people, bro can't reach YB. He can though. He can. I spoke what, see, but this is the thing. Me saying I know the person who can reach everybody. I got a key, but do you got what it take? What about Cardi? Anybody? I spoke about opening up the American Dream Mall with Youngboy, with his manager, because I know that. I try to shoot the biggest shot. I shot from back here. It's not that your networking source guy is shitty. It's just that would YB... I can get the message to YB, but is YB gonna want to do it? Do you have enough sauce for the key to work? That's the bit. Damn, he said no. His manager said, "Yo, YB not really trying to be outside." Like, that's the bit. But that don't mean that's a bad network, because soon, right? Soon, when I'm bigger, when people are saying, "Yo, the best streamers is Rise Speed and Kai Cenat," that's how big I see myself being. When people are saying that, I can hit the same guy. And it might work that time. That time it may work. You feel me? So it's just, you not at the goal in life to where you can unlock it, but you should be happy that you got the key, because thing got the key. I got to get unbanned on TikTok. I got to get unbanned on Instagram. I got to get verified on Instagram. I got to do this, that. You need to meet who do cool things. Point blank, period. That's how networking work. And it's people at your level, bro. As I was blowing up, I got cool with Flav. I got cool with Luke. I got cool with Prestige. Guess what? Prestige is shooting at Uck City to this day. I met Prestige 4 years ago. Just from him telling me to do his interview. Now he's shooting my show. And he not charging me an arm in the lake like a production company. He's my friend. I met Luke. Y'all would have never got all those music videos. He know I didn't have the money. But since we got a connection and we doing favor for favor, now y'all got multiple music videos and now my music blowing up. That's networking. Now that I know Flav, people may not like her on my show, but Flav don't charge me a dime. I give Flav money because I say, Flav, I want you to know that I respect your time. Flav say, Raud, whatever you want, I got you for free. Memph cut me for free. These are connections. I met Memph when I was young. I met Memph 4 or 5 years ago. When I land in Philly, I say, Memph, I want to cut. He might take you out your spot to cut my hair. That's a connection I made early on. Don't think at that time I needed to connect with Kai Cenat. No, at that time I needed to connect with Memph. These people are important. These are important people. You feel me? You need to be able to call and to do whatever. Make a checklist of cool things you want to be able to call to do, and find out who the people is and go meet them, bro. That's what it is. That's what real networking is. It's who really plugged up. It's who not rich, but if you come to their city, they know everything. They know that do everything, and they might have more money off you just from networking. No, and then you need to say, like, how can I utilize the people on my list? Easy. You got a manager, right? Yes, sir. Leak. You should open up the LLC, and once you should start opening up the LLC once you start making money, not immediately. Once you start making money, because the LLC costs money, and it's nothing to report. It's gonna be fairly easy to track your spending, with your LLC, because you wasn't making no money, so they can't come get you for that. So you definitely should open up your LLC once you start making money on your business, and I mean like more than $500 a month, right? Something like that. All right.